President Obama got a warm reception in Canada, lawmakers chanting 4 more years. That's what you heard there after the president's address to Canadian Parliament. Critics say his poll numbers are higher in Canada than in the U.S. With me now, my political power panel, chief political analyst, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli, Republican strategist Mark Serrano, and Democratic strategist Harlan Hill. Welcome to you all. Deneen, what do you make of President Obama's international approval levels?
Well, listen, the Canadian folks don't have to live under Obama's failed policies. And there's 67% of Americans feel the country is going in the wrong direction. In 2010, it was around even. And so a lot of Americans are feeling the pain and burden of Obama's failed policies, whether it's energy, his immigration policy is going to flood the job market with individuals that are low skilled. We don't know what kind of disease is coming, what kind of terrorists will be infiltrating. The policies are harming our country.
So, Harlan, what do you make of Deneen's assessment that essentially the Canadians don't have to live with the Obama administration policies, so they can afford to like him?
Well, and I guess relative to a socialist in France or a socialist in Canada, Barack Obama looks relatively moderate. So I think it's all about perspective. It's all about relativity. He looks pretty far to the left from our perspective as Americans, but if you live in France or Belgium, maybe not so much.
Yeah, and Trudeau seems very much to the left. To your point.
No question.
So, Mark, your comments, is it just that Canadians don't, because it's not just Canada, actually. President Obama is president in Germany, as Harlan just said, Belgium and France, and further abroad.
Look, I'm surprised that his approval numbers overseas aren't higher. I mean, of course these people love him. Heck, Mexico must love Barack Obama because he's inviting all the Mexicans to come across our border. Iranians, they must love Barack Obama because now they've got deals with companies like Boeing that absolutely do not deserve. Russians probably like President Obama. My gosh, there are countries throughout the Middle East that love Barack Obama because he has dismantled and changed the entire power structure there.
But you're also implying that it's because he has allowed opportunity for these adversaries, at least in Russia's case.
Because he has treated our allies like enemies and our enemies like allies. Absolutely, because he's changing the world order.
Let me ask you about this because President Obama referred to Donald Trump's policy. So he didn't call him out by name, but essentially talked about a candidate who is not a populist. So if you read between the lines, it's that Donald Trump is not a populist because he does not care for the people. Did you hear him make those comments, Mark?
Yeah. So I did, and look, this is coming, Obama spoke, and it was really not just an address to a foreign ally, it was more of a campaign speech. Obama can't wait to get on the road with Hillary Clinton. And 4 more years, of course, they want 4 more years. And Hillary Clinton is tying herself to Barack Obama's legacy. Here is the colossal error they're making in reading this electorate. They are like the Remain campaign in the UK. They want Americans to remain stuck and mired in Obama economic policies. And that is not going to resonate with guys who've been laid off in manufacturing in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Michigan.
All right, we want to talk about trade another as being on the campaign trail. Deneen, Harlan, how do you see it? In other words, President Obama using these international moments to basically campaign for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, he endorsed her, the worst person ever, based on her Secretary of State record with the emails and the server and the lies with Benghazi. Yeah, this should be very interesting. And I do hope folks will check out my conservative review commentary. Who's the real populist, Trump or Obama? Obama had an epic meltdown in Canada when he was complaining about Trump constantly for not being a populist.
It was worse than that. I felt like he was lecturing Trump supporters. I felt like that he was belittling us. And, as a Trump supporter, as a Democrat for Trump, I can't wait for him to be out there campaigning for Hillary Clinton because there's never been a less effective surrogate for another candidate than Barack Obama. Just about every candidate that he's gone to the campaign trail for, other than himself, has failed. As someone that despises Hillary Clinton, I can't wait for him to get out there.
There is a political movement, an upheaval taking place in the world, and they don't get it. They're smug and elitist, and they think they've got this election in the bag.
Mark, Deneen, Harlan, thank you all. Glad to have you here. Spirited discussion. We love it. More details being released from a top Clinton aide's deposition. Hillary Clinton apparently called only one of the 35 Benghazi survivors in the months after the attack. As you heard in my recent interview with the mother of one of the soldiers who was killed, she is still waiting for her phone call.
Don't just listen to her. Question it. Make her say something. Have her call me. I'm still waiting. Hillary, I'm waiting for what you promised me. All I heard was you getting on TV calling me a liar.